Hello, my friends. Today, I want to talk to you about developing your art style and feeling insecure in your own work, feeling jealous of others, and how to combat all of this. I think this is such an important topic to talk about because every single artist, I'm sure, feels this way. I definitely feel this way. You can never know how somebody else is feeling, and the grass can always look greener on the other side. Even advanced artists can feel insecurities about their own work and jealousy towards others. I do struggle with, but have found ways to cope with and to work around to a place where I am content with my own art style and am able to be genuinely happy for others without feeling a lot of jealousy. I think it's important to keep these 5 tips in mind. If you enjoy this video, be sure to give me a like and subscribe and comment what other topics you want to see in the future because I'm always looking out for your suggestions. And the suggestion for this video topic was actually from 3 people on my Instagram. I had asked what to talk about and I got the suggestion and I ran with it. Let's get started. The very first thing that I want to mention is pragmatic. Pick out one key feature that you like in somebody's work, whether it be their line work or their line weight, the colors they use, a specific element that they include in every single piece, how they shade, etc. When you can pick out one specific thing that you enjoy in somebody's work, then you can better understand what emotions they're emulating, and then you can think about how you can incorporate the same element organically into your own work. Sometimes it's overwhelming when you look at an artist's work and everything looks perfect, everything is different than how you would have done it, and is so much more professional or advanced than you would think you could create. But if you can have a critical eye, differentiate the different parts of a painting that make it as amazing as it is, then you are on the right track to be able to incorporate those same elements into your own work. By dissecting and putting into words what you can only describe as beautiful and perfect, if you can put into words specifically what you're feeling and what you're seeing, you can better understand how to incorporate it into your own work. Let's take a quick break from today's video and talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Spark. Spark is a creative app started by fellow YouTuber and artist Mariah Elizabeth. Have new sparks every day to get you started creating, and you can even collaborate with other people in the app on your creations. I love that Spark isn't high stakes. You don't have to be a great artist to be using the app. The goal of the app is to get you to enjoy the creative process, not so much to create gallery-worthy artwork, so it's very low pressure, low stakes, relaxing. I'd love to show you some of the pieces that I've worked on in Spark. I'm using my stylus because I'm used to using my Apple Pencil on my iPad. You can also just use your finger if you don't want to use a stylus, but I found that the workflow in this app is very easy to understand. It's straightforward, and there's just a lot of fun in creating based on the sparks that you are given every day. One of the sparks that I've created was drawing a flower arrangement in a mason jar. I love the end result of this. I think it's so sweet, and if you'd like to see this creation as well as other ones, they're going to be in my personal gallery. The very exciting thing is that I have partnered with Spark to create my own quest in app. Every day between now, June 1st through June 7th, there will be a new daily spark that I've created in the app, and if you complete 3 of my sparks on 3 different days or more if you'd like, you can unlock access to my special pack of stickers as well as backgrounds that I have created. You can use these in any of your future creations, and I would love to see how you incorporate them into your own sparks. At the very end of this event, I'm going to be showcasing my favorite creations on my Instagram. You can look up Spark Creative Play in the Apple App Store. If you see Opie, the cute little cat that's the mascot of the app, you are in the right place. I hope you take on my quest and get to creating. I'm so grateful for the sponsorship that aligns so well with my channel. I can't wait to see what you create, and again, thank you to Spark for sponsoring this video. Okay, let's get back to my painting. My second tip is don't force yourself to create something that doesn't give you joy in the process. I think this is so important. I have a personal example which I will share in a second. Having a great time in the process of creating art is key to liking what you create. For example, I personally love Sibylline's illustrations, and the flatness but elegance of her artwork makes me feel something. I love her work and have it all over my studio and my home. However, I know that I love painting with dimension, so Even though there have been so many times where I've wanted to emulate exactly what she creates, I'm not going to force myself in a box of copying her because her work exudes the same feelings that I want my work to exude. This is so important to realize. Copying somebody else's style is not going to mean that your work is going to give off the same feeling as their work gives off. And I think that's what a lot of beginner artists or artists who copy excessively don't quite understand. The feeling that an artist creates is an amalgamation of their experiences and their development of their skills. And if you 100% copy what somebody else creates, you're not going to know the thought process behind why they make the specific decisions that they make. Yes, you could possibly replicate a specific artwork that somebody creates well. It doesn't mean that you have the skills or the inspiration to continue the same types of creations from your own imagination in the future. If this is something that you find yourself doing a lot, is copying other people's work, remember that you have your own unique story to tell, just as that artist does, and that you have the capability to inspire somebody else the way that you are feeling inspired. I think this is so important. If you take anything from this video, take this. Don't force yourself in a box to create what somebody else is creating just because you like how it feels. You can evoke the exact same emotions in your work with different techniques, different media, different subject matter, etc. My next tip is something that I practice, which is to surround yourself with media that is different than your own. For example, I follow creators that needle felt, crochet, create ceramics. These are great ways to surround yourself with creative minds and visuals without directly comparing yourself to the work. Because it's so different from something that you can create, it's hard to give a one-on-one comparison between what you make and what this other person creates. This is much more about the feelings and the creativity that somebody else puts out that you can take inspiration and motivation from. If you're feeling stuck in a box, if you're a digital painter and you only follow digital artists, I would totally recommend to find another niche or hobby that you're interested in that you can follow that will be different from what you create. My fourth tip, which might be useful to you, is to scroll through an artist's feed until you find their older work. I think we sometimes get lost in this box of thinking that every single artist has a perfect portfolio and has always created beautiful work, when that's just simply not true. Every artist has to start from some place, and whether they post often or not at all, they're probably practicing and working on their craft maybe every single day. Go back through their old work. My work is very different from what it was 5 years ago. People change and grow and adapt. They're interested in different things. Their brain also changes and develops. Their traumas or the joy in their life can affect their artwork. So where you are right now in life might not be where somebody else is, but they have been where you've been. So being able to step back and look at what somebody else has created in the past and put out there could be inspirational for you. If you are enjoying this content, I'd love to talk to you about my 2 art retreats that are coming up in October and February. In October, I'm going to Japan with 20 other people. There are 4 spots left. It's going to be linked down in the description. I'm so excited to meet everybody, to explore Japan with like-minded creatives. And then my second trip is going to be to Costa Rica in February. It's going to be a rainforest retreat, fairy art workshop focused. I'm going to be talking about several topics like finding your art style and even things like art block. So if you're interested in that trip, there are 4 early bird bookings left on that trip, which come with a discount. So I'm going to put it down in the description. Please check out the trips if you'd like to join me. My very last tip here is don't give up regularly. I was thinking if I could even include this tip because I give up on my digital paintings quite a lot, but I know how to phrase this to be accurate to what I mean and to what I practice. It's okay to abandon a painting every once in a while, but if you have a good foundation in the sketch and the colors, you should be finishing your pieces. Going through the entire process of creation will help you solve and exercise every part of your own creative process. For example, if you start the sketching process 10 times, but out of those 10 times only add the final touches 4 times, are you going to be improving your work holistically evenly throughout, because you're not problem solving your finishing touches the amount that you're problem solving your sketch. You are not going to be as good at finishing a painting. So pushing yourself to finish something, even if you're not enjoying what's happening, where you're going, I think it's key to your creative process. For example, this digital painting, like so many others that I create, I was not 100% happy with. And just like a lot of other paintings, I wanted to stop working on it. And I finished it and put the finishing touches on it and did not enjoy it. And what I did was stepped back for a second and came back to it, and now I think it's super cute. Having that perspective can also inform the way that you understand your own work, but I think it's so important to not abandon your process if you haven't gone through it all. It's better to put in time into something that at the end might not be what you're proud of, but you have been problem solving through the process to finish and wrap everything up. With finishing a whole entire painting, it's always so useful to know what you did wrong and what you would change in your next painting. And if you don't go through the whole process when you are creating something, you are going to be missing out on a lot of experience. And even, I dare say, the time that you put in any creation is better than no creation, obviously. So I don't want to be discouraging to you if you can never seem to finish something. That being said, I think it's so much more important to finish and, even do it poorly than to not finish at all. Those are my tips. I hope this was useful for you. Comparison is the thief of joy. What matters in the creative process is pushing through your self-doubt and believing in yourself even. So I hope these tips were helpful. These are tips that I employ in my own life and in my own feelings and emotions towards others. But if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to see you around this channel. Thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you guys in my next video.